Welcome to One Quick Question with Infomedia, your source for answers to your questions about websites, digital marketing, and more. I'm your host, Carrie Rollwagon. So today we are here with Jason Lavoie. Welcome, Jason.
Thank you very much.
So can you tell everybody what you do, like what's your title at Infomedia, and I guess what were you doing right before the podcast?
Yep. Title is president, and I was in another meeting
Sweet.
prior to this.
Well, that's what happens. When you run things, you end up being
Lots
in
of
a lot
meetings.
of meetings.
Lots of meetings.
So we wanted to bring you on here today and ask you possibly an impossible question. So
Okay.
have fun.
Yes.
But the question is, in your opinion, are we in a recession?
Well, that's a great question. Everybody's trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, no.
So you're on the spot.
Right.
Figure it out for the world.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the better question could be, does it feel like we're in a recession? And the
Mhm.
answer to that is emphatically yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does that? Are you speaking like as individuals or as a business or both?
Well, good point. I mean, I guess when we're paying $8 for a dozen eggs, that's pretty painful. But no, I mean, I think, folks are still spending and still, I think they're being a little more cautious, which we probably should be.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've been talking about recession probably for 2 years now,
Yes.
I think. maybe
Yeah.
I don't know if it's, I don't know if I fear it, but it's just always wanting to be prepared.
I think preparing is good. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember before 2020, I had a meeting with most of the staff and I said, I don't know if we're going to have a recession or not, but Jason thinks we will, so we're going to
Right.
prepare for one.
Well, we know it's
Yeah,
coming.
exactly.
That is a fact.
Yeah, it's always coming.
It's
Yeah.
always coming. Yeah.
And that was the thing. Some of the things we did to prepare at that point actually helped us a lot
Yeah, I
during
think so.
quarantine.
Yep.
So was that a recession? Who knows, but it was still helpful.
Well, I mean, technically it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a slowdown.
Right.
Well, what are some of the things, like, how do you think that a recession impacts small businesses in particular? And I mean, not, like, as opposed to huge corporations, not necessarily just, like, small coffee shops.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I think, I could probably answer that in a lot of different ways, but I think probably where we feel it the most is in our cash flow, which is, managing your cash flow is very important. I go back to even, I guess, 2008 when I guess that was probably the biggest recession that I can remember. And we were making sales.
Mm-hmm.
Others were experiencing recession, and we thought, oh, well, we're okay. But then when we realized that it just stopped, and it's like, what happens when it does stop? Are you going to be prepared?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously a recession won't last forever, so you have to figure out how long, if we're going to try to build up a reserve.
Mm-hmm.
How much are we going to build up, and how long does that need to get us, by? But
so how do you make those decisions?
Well, I mean, we have a lot of talks.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, we start thinking about which industries are a little more recession proof.
Mm-hmm. What are a couple that you think might be
like
more?
Logistics,
Mm-hmm.
transportation, your everyday goods types of things that you have to have.
Mm-hmm.
Probably banking. Everybody's got to still do banking. I don't know if that's one of the better ones or
Yeah.
not. But I mean, some are more are going to be a little more recession proof than others. Obviously, like I wouldn't invest in construction when you're about to go into a recession.
Mm-hmm.
People just put the brakes on. I mean, real estate's right now and mortgage market's trying to figure things out, where everybody was refinancing or buying a house more than what they could afford. Well, I don't know if it was more than they can afford, but it's a lot more. If they were to buy the same house today, it'd be a lot more expensive.
Right.
So the mortgage industry, as an example, is experiencing probably what they feel is a recession.
Right.
Yeah.
So how have we dealt with that at Infomedia? Like, it seems like some of it is diversifying our client base.
Yeah.
And then also a lot of times people repair things in a recession.
Yeah.
They don't just build. So I think a few years ago, especially, kind of concentrated. We've always done support, but even push that into that direction even more. So
Yep.
we're fixing things
Yeah.
as well as building.
Like in a recession, you
Mm-hmm.
may not have as many. Going back to the construction example, you may not have as many new builds,
Mm-hmm.
but the Home Depot and Lowe's stock probably goes through the roof, I would
Yeah.
imagine, because everybody's thinking, okay, we're staying put.
Yeah.
Now, maybe we should, fix up our
Right.
house since we're going to be staying here for a while. So you've got a lot of home improvements. Websites, the same thing. And it's like, well, you don't have to redesign your website. Do I need to say that? Because we want people to. But there are a lot of things, and we talk to people about this all the time. How can we make the use of our website, whether it's a copy refresh on the homepage? How can I retool it to look a little different and be fresher? Kind of like going in your house and painting all the walls, as an example. But sometimes it's retooling it to go a little faster.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's changing your messaging.
Right.
Sometimes it's adding video and photography,
Yeah.
which I highly recommend, by the way.
Well, I think you made the change a few years ago for us to also take on sites that we didn't build and repair
Right.
those kind of. So
Yep.
I think that side of the business is one that I think helps us all to feel a little bit better, hopefully, as we're going into recession.
I agree, and not to plug our support team, but they're amazing.
Yes.
Not too many people that do, web design has a full service support team.
Yeah.
So that is, I think, definitely sets us apart.
Mm-hmm.
And, where instead of getting the bigger projects, which we love, but we're also doing we probably do 500-600 tickets of just little small changes every month.
Yeah.
So I think those little things help us and they help our clients because they're not spending much money, but they're able to upgrade their website at the same time.
Yeah. They can extend the life of their website, but then also get ideas. I think our support team is good too at giving ideas for when you are going to invest in a rebuild. Here's how to make it really worth it and
That's
not
right.
just do something trendy that won't work for you. So.
Yeah, and quite honestly, you may, let's say, well, we won't be redesigning this year, but we will be next year. Well, we still live in this house.
Yeah.
We still have this website.
Yeah.
So we still need to be retooling it constantly to make sure our prospects, our clients, people coming to our website so we may still recommend, obviously, make changes to that website.
Mm-hmm.
But that could also help you as you're going into a redesign, especially if you focus on the copy as an example and your content. So
you mentioned the 2008 recession, and you were running a business in 2008 also.
Yeah.
Right. So what were some of the things that you did then that did work? Can you think of that you're it's a good thing we did that, or even if you're I don't know if it worked, but this is what we tried, or if you're I just blocked that out, I don't want to remember it ever.
There's definitely blocked some of it out. I know
that I think you started the Lunch and Learns.
We did.
Then.
And that was, I mean, it's one of those things, it's we chose to start that because we know a lot of folks were needing or wanting to know more about whether it was social media. How do we, how do we do these things? And so we were able to teach, and it got uncomfortable when it got expensive.
Oh, yeah. Because these were live events that we offered for free.
But we were committed to it,
and
I think it paid off in the long run. And we actually kept those going really till COVID.
Yeah.
Which we're about to start back up. I believe it'll look a little different.
Yeah.
So
I think so.
More info to come.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Exactly. So do you have any hope for people who are I feel like we're in this recession, I have a small business, is it just look at your product, look at your client base, see if you can diversify a little bit more, kind of appeal to things that work well in recession? Is it we will make it through, don't worry about it, or is it more of a be worried, be scared?
I wouldn't say be worried and be scared unless you're not doing anything.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I would say, when I'm talking to other business owners, it seems to me managing cash flow is always a big concern because you may be, having good sales, but if you're not getting paid, as an example, it becomes difficult too. So,
right. And I think a lot of people don't think through, like, profit is not the same as cash flow.
That's right.
Like, on paper, people may owe you money and it looks profitable, but if you don't have that money,
so
and you need to pay salaries.
What I love is you say, hey, revenue is vanity. It's like that's that top line. Yes, we did good. We made the sales. Like, but did you get paid?
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, profit. You want to be profitable, sanity, and then profit is king. Oh no, getting cash is king.
Yeah.
You want to actually get the cash in hand. So.
And I did like the tip. I feel like you had a few tips. Like, one is, like, figure out what businesses do well in recession. See if you can do business with those businesses. I think another thing we talked about was, like, can you be fixing things? Can you be repairing things? Can you be adding something extra? I also think little fun, like small ways to, like, $5 and $10 things also people kind of gravitate toward in a recession. So any of those things, can you change your product a little bit for that? And then I also really love that you share the tip of essentially, like, if your business hasn't slowed down, be adding to that nest egg or whatever, so that, I mean, worst case scenario, your business doesn't slow down and you have extra money,
which
saved.
Is great. Yeah.
So not worst case at all.
Right.
But if you hit a slowdown, you do have a little bit more of a lane to figure out what to do.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
One Quick Question is brought to you by Infomedia. Find show notes, including links to what we talk about on the podcast today, at infomedia.com/quickquestion. Our producer is Elena Harmond. Our theme music is by Brad Davis. And our episodes are produced by Paul and Aaron at Infomedia Studios. If you need website support, marketing advice, or you're interested in building a new website, give us a call at 205-823-4440 or email quickquestion@infomedia.com.